the Divine Feminines podcast and channel. I'm your host, Steph Desar, and in today's episode, we are talking full moon in Capricorn. Yes, there's a full moon in Capricorn on Monday, the 3rd of July. Now, before I get started, don't forget to like and subscribe this channel. We are Divine Feminines on all major podcast platforms. That's Apple, Spotify, Google, and we are also on TikTok and Instagram. That's the Divine Feminines with a Z at the end. Why like and subscribe this channel? We talk everything from moon magic, moon manifestations, portal guidance, portal energy, the astros, divine feminine, divine masculine, how you balance between the two, how you become your ultimate best self, soul growth, and all of those great spiritual topics. I just share from my own experience. And when I do the full moon and the portal energy guidance, I channel what I'm picking up on, and I also study the cosmos and the astrology. I don't claim to be a certified professional astrologer, but I have a passion for it, and I usually find that my messages do resonate. So I hope you'll enjoy this episode, and let's get started. So full moon in Capricorn, what does that mean? I'm going to go through what the full moon in Capricorn means, the context of the astros at the moment. The sun is currently in Cancer, so what does that mean for us? How we can use this full moon to really propel. We are in the second half of 2023. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Like, time has flown. I'm really grateful to be taking some time out, actually. It's actually worked out really well because it is sort of midway in the year. We all have a natal chart. So before I get into this, if you've done your birth chart or your natal chart, it'd be really helpful because you can double down on what the Capricorn full moon means for you. So when you do your natal chart, it will show you your rising sign. That is not your sun or zodiac sign. Your rising sign is, what you're striving to in this lifetime. Now, that will always sit in your house 1, and you can then work out which house, because we have 12 houses in astrology, and everyone has it in their birth chart. Capricorn will exist in one of your 12 houses. Mine exists in house 7, which is close relationships, business partnerships, intimate relationships, and though family relationships and things like that. So that would be an interesting one for me. So if you can look at that, that would be really, really helpful. I will give the guidance of this Capricorn full moon, but then specifically to the house, this is a time that with the full moon, you can release, you can cleanse, you can detoxify, and you can also sort of clear the space for calling in more of what you want in a healthier way for that house. There will be extra support towards that house. Generally though, the energy of the Capricorn full moon will be available to everyone. Now, if you have Capricorn in your top 3, you will feel this even more. You may, really feel a real complete shift and change. And if you're holding back, to be honest with you, it will only kind of happen eventually. So what I really ask, and you don't have to listen to me, but what I really encourage is like looking at what you might need to let go of and what you really want. And usually what we really want does have some contradiction to what we're holding on to. When we do get into the rhythm of allowing space and understanding, surrendering, cleansing and detoxifying, then the less of that happens. So it's an important time to be doing that self-reflection, to look at your life. So the full moon is on Monday, the 3rd of July, just before July 4th celebrations, if anyone's celebrating that public holiday. And it will be at 12:38 GMT or BST, British Summer Time for the UK, and at 7:38 a.m. New York Eastern Time. So Capricorn is an earth energy. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Capricorn is the goat, if you ever remember, and the goat likes to climb that mountain and likes to have that view of everything around it. Now, there's a really special thing that's happening with this full moon, is that there is a trine to Jupiter. What does that mean? Well, currently Jupiter is in Taurus for a year. Now, if you look at where Taurus sits in your natal chart, Jupiter will be expanding that house and will bring auspicious, abundant opportunity. But wherever Jupiter is, it will expand, and it means that you have to also be careful with balance. Wherever, expansion occurs, you do also need to have grounding, and things can get quite busy for you. So Now with this trine of Jupiter with the full moon, Taurus is an earth energy too. Taurus is about stability, it's about finances, it's about beauty, it's about luxuries, as well. But it's also about security, your stability, your home. Sort of more the home, not the home in the heart, but the physical, tangible home. And Capricorn is the energy of business. I always think, it's like the businessman energy. But also structures, organization, leadership, business, money, finances. So there is a very nice energy that's coming in here that is going to allow you to call in maybe the abundance, the finances, whether it's a business plan, whether it's something that you're working on. This is a really great time for alignment. This is a great time to pull together that view and also cleanse and let go of maybe what's holding you back from that vision. But if you journal, if you take time to review and connect with the moon and connect with yourself, of course, because the moon is representative of emotions. So there is an opportunity here to also our emotional well-being is important. And if we hold on to certain emotions that can hold us back from where our potentiality is, then that only has a negative effect. So it's really important to check in with those emotions and use this full moon to let go of it. And it could be emotions around business, around finance, around things like that, depending on where your Capricorn sits. But obviously it's a very earthy energy. So that's a really beautiful thing with this Jupiter trine. I'm really excited about it. Right now we're actually, just as I record this, we're in a Mercury is in Cancer and there is a Cazimi. So it's a very positive energy. Now Cancer is the sun right now. So the sun is in Cancer and the opposite to that is the Cancer and Capricorn nodes. So Capricorn is in the moon, it's opposing Cancer. They're very different energies. They're very different archetypes. Cancer, it's actually my rising sign, is, the mother figure, is nurture, is home, is emotions, is ruled by the moon, is a lot about connection with yourself. It's about balance, it's about nurture, but nurture of yourself, nurture for family and loved ones. But there is a very important nurturing of self-expression, understanding emotions, emotional expression, emotional intelligence, healthy. Because I really do get sometimes I think, why do people think emotions are a bad thing? And society has framed emotions as a bad thing. We all have them. They're actually not bad, because actually if you're in an emotional state of really feeling the vibe and feeling it in your emotions and feeling it in your body and in your mind, you're manifesting. So your emotions clearly are tapped and aligned to your manifestations, believe it or not. So that's why it's important to connect with your emotions. And also, if they are going off kilter, there's nothing wrong with that, because we are living a human experience here. So not everything's going to go hunky-dory and a-okay, and we will have to transmute that energy. And that's actually with those emotions, that when you transmute that energy and you allow it to transform into something that you really want, and something aligned to your mission and your purpose, wow, do beautiful things happen. So that's just giving you a bit of an interesting take here. Now, when you think about maybe a goal or business or work or something that you're doing, more Capricorn-y energy. Did I say Capricorn-y? Yeah, I did. What might get you at this time with the full moon is that you could be going a bit too hard. And this is the time to also take stock, because that Capricorn goat wants to get to the top of the mountain and is just going. And it's like, the only thing I want to see is I want to see that view at the top of the mountain across everything. But Cancer is also about, and that's why we have to embrace what's happening in the sun, is Cancer's about, but you've got to look after yourself on the way up. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey as well. So, like I said, this is a really auspicious time, especially if it's business. You can make it rain, but you also need to bring balance, because, and I say this all the time, everyone wants money, everyone, would love to have more and more money, but some don't realize that with that comes a responsibility of, well, there is certain activities, there's certain commitment, and then you can easily lose balance and just be fixated on money. And when that happens, you are actually not connecting with yourself, you're not respecting yourself, because you're going for the external more than giving respect to you, your body, your internal, your mind and body, and your soul. But money isn't a bad thing. It's an energy, and we can magnetize it, right? We can magnetize it to ourselves. It's like direction, feeling abundant in your nervous system. But you need to feel that, because if you are all giddy and stressed out and trying to do a million things, do you really think that what you're trying to manifest is going to come to you? Because there is an essence of being in a very emotionally satisfied and fulfilled place, but in your body feeling abundant, in your actually feeling it physically, emotionally, and not just the doing of actions that needs to get you there. Because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. It's Lord of Karma. It is the masculine. It's the father archetype. So we've got father in Capricorn, mother in Cancer, and so that's very different energies. It's sort of divine feminine, divine masculine energies. And really, if you can bring the two into balance, and use this full moon in Capricorn to just let go, like things that haven't worked out in business, things that haven't worked out in things that you've been building, even if it's to do with your career or some kind of project, things that were sort of like not worked out, but where you want to go. Let go of the things that didn't work out, take the wisdom with you and keep it moving, but make sure that you take time to detoxify. Now, detoxifying can be a number of things. It can be with food, it can be with rest, it can be with exercise, it could be with, you could even go on a juicing diet, you could even just change up your sort of eating pattern, but it could also be just really taking a step back, spending time with yourself, being out in nature as well, to detoxify from the tech, from the busyness, and from everything that happens around you. You can say all the affirmations in the world. You can state that you're abundant, you can do all of that. But like I said, if you are not feeling it in your body, if your body isn't affirming that abundance, if your body isn't affirming that creation that is unfolding and saying, yeah, like certified that it is happening, granted, it is going on right now, my body feels it, I am living and breathing it. If that's not happening, then you're not going to call things in, because you could be looking at the mirror, saying all the affirmations in the world. It's got to be in your frequency, and then to be in your frequency, it's got to be within you. It's got to be swarming in you. It's got to be living and breathing as an energy within you, right? And that's for anything. This is not just about finances. This is an opportunity to really call in the good opportunities for love, for yourself, and for career, but obviously financial. And if you actually do work with your partner, or have a passion project or kind of business plan or strategy with your romantic partner, this is a very interesting time too, because you can use this full moon to sort of create that balance and create a good footing between the Cancer and the Capricorn nodes. It's literally divine feminine, divine masculine nodes there, and you can actually maybe even check in with them and talk about it. Definitely do your own work and do your own self-ritual and journal. And I'll come on to some journal points in a moment, but also look at what that might mean for, even if it's a business partner and it's not a romantic partner, it's a friend or colleague, whoever you're working with. You could also look at this as a time to sort of look at, re-strategize, take away anything that's no longer serving, and just really hone in on the plan that you've got. Now, one more thing to say is Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. When I think about 2008, I'm like, I was clearly in my 20s then. Like, this is a long time ago. And I'm like thinking, wow, that's like ages ago. So Pluto's been in Capricorn to 2008, and he will leave Capricorn in January 2024. So there's one last stint. He's in retrograde in Capricorn now, and he will be there for another 6 months or so. And this is the final clearance. So it's not been easy. If I think about where I was in 2008 and then to now, I'm like, wow, a number of career changes, like ventures with business, outside of career, projects, running certain movements and initiatives. Some really great stuff happened. But then all of that wisdom and all of that knowledge now, and where I sit now today, and this is why I'm saying this and sharing it openly, because I'm like, wow, okay, now I know a lot more. Now I can go, okay, well, where am I going and what can I take with me that is going to serve me, and what do I need to leave behind? Like certain things that didn't work out, or I know that that's not really me, or that's not my strength, or I need to work in this dynamic, and that's the better way for outcomes, for success. So we've been doing a lot of work because Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. So you know what that means, structures changing, things shifting, lots and lots of different change to clear things that no longer serve us. So Pluto in Capricorn for that long stint, which is 15 odd years, right? The last 15 years, like where, ask yourself, I mean, you must have seen a lot of change and things that you've learned along the way, personally and working with others, and like, what is it that you want to create in terms of stability, success, and whatever Capricorn sits in your natal house, that you probably experienced a lot of change there. Now, this last 6 months is the final clear up. We've really done the work, and I hope you have. We've really done the work, so you shouldn't see any crazy shifts, but there are going to be some final things to clear. And what are those things? Things that no longer serve us, outdated beliefs, things that happened in the past, wounds, situations that we may have had to karmically be involved in to learn a lesson. I sure has learned a lot of lessons. And with Capricorn in my 7th house, it was intimate relationships, business relationships, and I've seen massive transformation, and it makes so much sense. But I'm like, wow, look where I've come. This is amazing. And now I don't need to carry the old versions of me. So think about the versions of you, and the versions of you that possess certain thought patterns, certain ways of doing things. And so this is a really great opportunity to just detox your life thoroughly. And even it doesn't need to be like just the detox about food. It's also about the mind. It's also about your internal. It's also about how you're approaching things. Look at the whys. I think I posted something on the I did posted something on the Divine Feminine's Instagram page earlier today, and it was like, look at your whys. Why do you do this? Why do you maybe get up at a certain time? Why do you choose to eat those foods? Why do you hang out with those people? Another important thing is if you're trying to really go in the direction of your success, but you're hanging around those that are just not really with ambition, they're not hustling, or they're not really following their heart and their passion, and they just want things to come to them, do you really think that's the right energy for you? You need to be around ambitious people. If you're ambitious and you have a lot of ambition, you need to sit at the table with those kind of people. And I've had to do that myself. Like, I think since 2008 especially, I was always probably in my circle of friends, old circle of friends, one of the probably most ambitious, wanting to do a lot of stuff, and was doing it and really was propelling forward. But the social circle I had around me wasn't as on that level. I just have to be honest. And I was probably still holding on because I was having a lot of fun with them, socially and doing all those fun stuff. But when it comes to the crunch, it wasn't the like-minded conversation I needed, and not the drive that I needed around me, So then, over the years, things have massively transformed. And I've even had to transform even more in the last sort of couple of years, even more, thinking, oh yeah, this is it. No, it's had to change again. And I've had to be really quite, ruthless, but for the sake of myself. So ask yourself, where do you might need to be ruthless? But it's not ruthless, it's doing what's right for you. And I call it ruthless because sometimes, others will see it as quite ruthless, but ruthlessness is not a bad thing when it's for the pursuit of your own highest good, and for you to, I just saw 1919, so endings of cycles, for you to end a cycle and move on to the next, you need to allow space. So this detoxing is really going to allow you to do that. Especially, another important question is, what is your, work-life balance? Because Pluto's been moving through since 2018 and will continue, like I said, till January. So you're detoxing on work, on an individual level, and on the level of companies and governments. And if you work hard, use this full moon commit to paring things back to, you know, so you don't neglect your home and your life. Like, I really make sure I rest. I took my time out right now, and I know when I get back it's going to be full on, but I am putting my time and investment to me, and whatever that means to you, just make sure you do put that time and investment for yourself, because then when you're there to do the work, you're going to show up, you're going to perform really well. Your ethic, your work ethic, your drive, and the output is just going to be phenomenal. And I can testify for that. Like, it just works. It just does. And, you know, think about your heart and your mind at this point, because with Cancer and Capricorn, Cancer's more heart, Capricorn's probably more mind. So, you know, ask yourself, you know, where have you been allowing your head to rule your heart, logic to override your emotions or fears, to rule your intuition? So where is your head trying to just overtake stuff? You know, where's Capricorn energy trying to overtake the Cancerian energy? And write those things down. Like, I'm releasing all negativity that stops me from connecting to who I really am. Like I said, your emotions are your guidance system to who you really are. They are not negative. And it's a great time to also do a bit of a release and a forgiveness. And if you need to release and forgive yourself, write those things down. And then consider what your biggest fear is around where you want to go. And, you know, what is that goal? What is that real goal? And, you know, and ambition you have, the project. And where's your fear? You know, and is that fear real? Like, is it a really tangible fear, or is it just you just making up something? Is it something actually from the past that you're just carrying forward because your ego's like, but that happened in the past, so yeah, it's gonna happen again? And that's just the fear. It's just being created by your ego. And if it's nonsense and silliness, then what steps can you take to just eradicate that? You know, what can you do? And how would your life look if you released that fear or fears? How would things change? Could you actually think about those changes and what it would look like? How would it feel? You know, really ask yourself that. So I am going to finally, I hope all of this helps, and I'm going to finally pull some guidance cards. One other thing I wanted to mention is I'm not talking about all of the transits of July, because I'm going to do a new moon in Cancer video. We've got a new moon in Cancer on the 17th of July, but we've also got Leo, Venus in Leo right now, but Venus will go retrograde on the 17th of July until October. So wherever Venus sits for you, wherever your Leo is in your natal chart, Venus will be there. And there will be, in retrograde, we take a step back, we reflect. But there is, you know, Venus is also, you know, rules Taurus. We've got Jupiter in Taurus right now. And with Leo and Venus together, things can happen quite boldly. So when it goes into retrograde, it's just about looking at our patterns, about, you know, how much we're spending, beauty, finances, but we can do a good lot of clearing. It can really help relationships too if we do that work. If we really just take that time for ourselves. And also, you might feel a bit disconnected from a partner. You may feel things are not working out, or things that weren't working out are coming to the surface. People from the past might come back. It's got a bit of a retrograde, Mercury retrograde energy, because Venus also rules partnerships and romantic partners. So in retrograde, someone might come back, or more than one. But if they do, you're being tested. It's a lesson. Just remember who you are. Don't dial back to a version of yourself before. Make sure you stand in your groundedness of your authenticity of who you really are. Trust your emotions. Trust your guided body. If you're not feeling good, you know, you don't need to be entertaining it. Set those boundaries. But if you're doing the work, honestly, the finances, the romance, if you're with someone already, it can really, really allow you to take that next level, that next, you know, maturation in whatever that is for you from October onwards. So it can be a very auspicious time. Just be very conscious. Don't go crazy with the spending. I say that to myself. That's a self-memo, you know. And yeah, and then I will share more on the Cancer new moon. All right, so messages for this full moon in Capricorn. What can we know, Holy Spirit? I've got the cosmic cards. So these are like oracle cards. So I'm going to just see what comes out. Can tell I am actually, okay, here we go. You are at the divine Y point. Oh, it's interesting. It's number 33. So this is a tree with different, you know, you kind of almost got the rainbow, and then you've got like a weird cloud with trees. Let me just show you guys, because then you understand what I'm trying to describe. So this might be a point where, and I think this Y point is like, where do you really want to go, and what do you need to release in order to go in that direction, and really just trust that, and what do you need to detox in order to take that next move. You know, this is I do see this image as something of flourishing, blossoming, things coming to fruition, greatness, manifestations and outcomes. 33 is a master number as well. Oh, anything else? Okay, what's this one? It's a number 43. Your lighthouse guides you home to the stars. So this is a great time, like I said, do the journaling and connect with who you really are and your inner light, your inner guidance, because in that Capricorn energy, you know, you can just be work, and you just forget about yourself. And this is important for you to have that connection to your own lighthouse. We all have our own internal light. Where's your light? Follow that, and that will bring you home to the stars, as in you are a star, right? Okay, other messages for this Capricorn full moon. I mean, it's really exciting because this month of July is actually really nice energy for us to, oh, look at this. This is a very abundant card. We've got all green going on here. You are perfectly imperfect, and it's another star. So it's all about, look at that green. It's really matching this so far. This really gives me abundant energy. It's all about embracing who you really are, what you're about. We are not meant to be perfect. Detox all of those thoughts from the past, whether it's, you know, failures in business or in partnerships and whatever you were doing in terms of that sort of structure, company, whatever. You might have had your own business, ran your own company, or had a certain career and shifted careers several times. You may have overworked yourself, whatever that is. Release and detox, but then embrace your characteristics, your strengths, your talents. Remind yourself of who you are and love that in you. That is important to do at this time as well. And that will also allow you to sort of see where, you know, the fears might be showing up as well in you. Okay. And to be enlightened, lighten up. So where can you sort of not get too serious? Because Capricorn energy is also very serious, right? If you've dated a Capricorn as well, you'll notice they're all about their business, and they can get so into that they forget to tap into their emotions. Yeah. Some of you women might say, but isn't that all men? Yeah. But, you know, you can get so into the business of things that you get so serious that you're not enjoying yourself and you're not having fun. And that is, you know, you need to enjoy what you're doing. Of course, in business, of course, when you're doing something serious, there is a seriousness that needs to be there. I know that because I have to operate like that a lot of the time. And certain people have not seen that side to me. And when they do, they're like, whoa, okay. But we need to make sure we're enjoying stuff. We need to not let anything get too heavy. And this, for me, is that physical card. Like, where are you carrying that baggage? Where does it feel quite heavy for you? You don't need to carry that. That could just be thoughts, feelings. And if you're taking everything so seriously, you're not enjoying. You know, the art of manifestation, the art of really calling in what you want is really appreciating what you have now and being fulfilled by what it is and making the most of that and just seeing the glass half full. Yes, shit happens. Of course it does. That's a number 29, by the way. That deduces to an 11. So what else have we got here? One more. Ooh. I've got two more actually. And I'm going to have to go away from the camera. Well, this is nice. I've pulled this one before. Right, I like this one a lot. Your greatest joy pollinates the world. So, you know, this again, it's like, especially if you're doing something that feels like a life purpose and everything, you know, it's got to have your joy and it's going to bring so much to the world. So don't be so hard on yourself, but also remember that you're following your heart. And in following your heart, it might not always make sense. It might not be so conventional in other business models. It might not be conventional in the way others have done things or how people might perceive things, but it doesn't matter. You do what you're doing because you following your heart and following your joy and being in your joy will pollinate the world and will heal the world. That's a number 41. That's a 5. 5, big change, big change. And I love this one. More about light. Number 2, a light grows brighter only by lighting another. So, you know, yes, if you harness your light within, it only shines and radiates beyond and out there and can help light others up and encourage them to find their inner light. This is a time, like I said, I feel like, you know, what I want to say here is really connect with your own inner light, because by doing that and having that self-connection with your inner light, it will naturally, you know, connect with others. If this is business, the light within you, you know, that keeps the flame of the passion for the business that you're working on, but also what brings you joy in working in that place, but also what just brings you joy in life, so that you have that balance from work, so the work and the personal, so the light can be multi-dimensional light. If this is to do with a relationship, you know, make sure you nurture your light first, because in nurturing you and feeding you and nourishing you and having time for you and, you know, making sure you're connecting with your light, the flame will burn even more brighter between you and your other counterpart. So I hope that helps. That is a really beautiful card. There's a lot of light here. I feel like these 3 cards here these ones are all about light. We've got lots of solar plexus energy, so be confident. Solar plexus is about the confidence. It's Leo energy. You know, trust that you have got what you need to do this. It's just about, you know, letting go of the past, letting go and detoxing. And these next 6 months of 2023 can be phenomenal for you. So I look forward to hearing any of your stories, anything you want to share, but, you know, you don't have to. I just hope that this helps you, you know, really go into the second half of 2023 with the gusto, with the zest, with the belief that you can do it and you have got what it takes to call in the financial stability, the success in business, and at the same time look after you, number 1, and feel that balance, that good balance for your inner peace and inner happiness. With that being said, I'm going to love you and leave you, because I've got this beautiful view of the ocean in front of me and I'm going to go out there now and connect with nature. Oh, one more thing. There's a big message around being around water for this full moon, especially. I mean, full moons and moons, it's always something to be connected to, but especially this one because we are in Cancer season. So with that being said, this Cancer rising is checking out and going over to that ocean. I'll see you later. Bye.